Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we delve into the latest headlines capturing the pulse of Hong Kong. First up, the Hong Kong government has fiercely criticized U.S. politicians for their despicable call for sanctions against city officials. This controversial move has been labeled as political manipulation and interference, further intensifying the ongoing geopolitical tensions between Hong Kong and the U.S. The government defends its actions, accusing the U.S. of hypocrisy over the national security law and recent court rulings against opposition figures. Stay tuned for more on this heated exchange. Next, we turn our attention to the financial markets where delistings have outnumbered IPOs in Hong Kong for the first half of the year. A total of 14 companies have opted to go private, citing depressed share prices and economic downturns in China as key reasons. This trend signifies a shift as businesses seek alternatives to public markets to raise funds. One notable deal worth $8.5 billion has already been completed, underscoring the significant impact of the economic climate on market dynamics. We'll explore the implications of this trend and what it means for future investments. Lastly, Hong Kong stocks took a hit following China's third plenum announcement, which left investors underwhelmed. The Hang Seng Index dropped by 1.9%, with notable declines in tech giants like Alibaba, Baidu, and Tencent. Geopolitical concerns and lackluster economic reforms have contributed to the market's bearish sentiment. We'll break down the factors behind this market reaction and what investors can expect moving forward. Please stay tuned for detailed coverage on these stories and more. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong has fiercely criticized U.S. politicians for their recent call for sanctions on city officials, labeling the move as despicable political manipulation aimed at intimidating those upholding national security. The backlash came after a letter from the U.S. House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party and the Congressional Executive Commission on China urged Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to consider sanctions against Hong Kong officials. The U.S. politicians argued that sanctions would hold individuals accountable for eroding Hong Kong's rule of law and democracy, and for human rights abuses. Among the officials targeted are Justice Secretary Paul Lam Ting Kwok and Chief Justice Andrew Chung Kue Nong. The Hong Kong government has dismissed these claims, accusing the U.S. of hypocrisy given its own numerous national security laws and defending the convictions of 47 pro-democracy activists as necessary to prevent subversion. Nikkei Asia: the Hong Kong stock market is witnessing a significant trend of delistings outnumbering initial public offerings, IPOs, this year, driven by a faltering Chinese economy and depressed share prices. Kin Yat Holdings, a long-established electronics manufacturer, is among the companies opting to go private due to struggling mainland businesses. As of June, 14 companies have announced plans to delist, surpassing the $1.7 billion raised by 30 new IPOs. The trend mirrors the market conditions during the pandemic's first half in 2020. Factors such as low trading liquidity, heavy net asset value discounts, and sluggish business performance are pushing companies like Kin Yat to accept privatization offers. Notably, French cosmetics brand L'Occitane and other firms are also delisting due to economic pressures. Despite some companies seeing profit rises, the overall sentiment remains cautious, with high interest rates and geopolitical tensions adding to the complexities of the market. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong stocks experienced a sharp decline following China's third plenum, which failed to deliver significant economic growth measures. The Hang Seng Index fell by 1.9%, with notable drops in tech and property stocks. Investors were disappointed by the lack of concrete fiscal reforms and growth-boosting steps from the four-day session. Goldman Sachs suggested that more demand-side easing measures, especially in fiscal and housing policies, are needed to achieve the annual GDP growth target of around 5%. The plenum's vague communiqué, which omitted previous declarations of the market's decisive role, reflected Beijing's cautious stance on financial risks. Amidst these economic uncertainties, geopolitical tensions, particularly between the US and China, also weighed heavily on investor sentiment. Chinese investors have been offloading US securities at a record pace, further contributing to the market's unease. South China Morning Post. Mainland Chinese internet users and Hong Kong lawmakers have voiced their opinions following the Hong Kong Consumer Council's apology to Nongfu Spring, China's largest bottled water company, for an inaccurate safety report. The council initially categorized Nongfu Spring's water incorrectly, which led to the company demanding an apology and re-evaluation. The council admitted its mistake, reclassified the water as natural drinking water, and rated it as a 5-star product. Mainland social media users humorously noted that the water they had been consuming for years was not spring water by international standards. Some joked about the council testing other mainland products, while others speculated that the council might avoid testing mainland brands in the future. Hong Kong lawmakers, however, defended the council's credibility, emphasizing the importance of accuracy in future reports. Legislator Doreen Kong Yuk Foon stressed the need for stringent checks, while Gary Zhongxinyu questioned Nongfu Spring's aggressive legal response and its impact on the company's reputation. South China Morning Post. The assassination attempt on former U.S. President Donald Trump on July 13 is expected to significantly influence the upcoming U.S. presidential election, potentially smoothing his path to victory. This incident highlights the deepening issues within American democracy, characterized by a choice between a perceived senile President Joe Biden and a controversial Trump. The global state of democracy is also concerning, with fewer than 8% of the world's population living in full democracies, according to the 2023 Democracy Index. The rise of far-right movements in Europe, the fractured state of French politics, and the surprising Labour victory in Britain reflect the broader challenges facing democratic systems. The promise of democracy appears increasingly hollow, with many Asian democracies struggling with cronyism and bureaucracy. Scholars like Larry Diamond point to a global democratic recession, exacerbated by social fragmentation and populism. Democracy requires a balance of distrust and trust, along with rules that foster rational debates and empathy. The younger generation in Hong Kong still aspires to a democratic future, despite recent setbacks, and must critically reflect on these lessons as they pursue their goals. South China Morning Post. Imagine a world overwhelmed by plastic waste, where microplastics infiltrate clouds and human arteries, painting a grim picture of a planet suffocating under its own convenience. The United Nations Environment Programme reports that out of 9.2 billion tons of plastic produced since the 1950s, 7 billion tons pollute the Earth. With annual plastic production potentially reaching 1.3 billion tons by 2060, urgent action is needed. Professor Sean Zhou Xiong of CUHK Business School emphasizes innovative business strategies and technologies to combat plastic pollution. Challenges like the economics of recycling and waste colonialism in Southeast Asia exacerbate the crisis, with countries like the Philippines and Indonesia contributing significantly to marine plastic debris. Innovative green enterprises are emerging with models like plastic offsets and social plastic, which offer eco-friendly options and support waste collectors in developing regions. Professor Zhou advocates for additionality in plastic sustainability to ensure genuine environmental improvements. His work aims to foster future leaders who are proactive about global business and environmental stewardship, combining academic rigor with real-world applications. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong police have arrested and charged a 24-year-old off-duty officer for the alleged rape of a 21-year-old woman. The woman reported the incident to the police around 3 p.m. on Wednesday, claiming she had been raped in a residential flat. Following an initial investigation, the suspect was apprehended in a Tai Pa flat on the same day. He faces 1 count of rape and is scheduled to appear before Fanling Court on Friday morning. Detectives from the New Territories North Regional Crime Unit are handling the case. The police force emphasized the importance of officer conduct and stated that any violation of the law by its personnel would be dealt with strictly and seriously. South China Morning Post also covers the fallout from a Dubai prince's abandoned $500 million family office in Hong Kong, which has sparked concerns but is not expected to diminish the city's allure to the super-rich. Sheikh Ali Rashid Ali Saeed Al Maktoum initially announced plans to open a family office in Hong Kong, only to cancel the ceremony at the last moment. The prince's alter ego as pop singer Alira and questions about the Hong Kong government's due diligence added to the controversy. Despite the mishandling, business leaders like Edwin Hiddy of the Arab Chamber of Commerce and Industry believe the incident is isolated and that Hong Kong remains a competitive hub for wealth management. The saga has, however, underscored the need for better due diligence and adaptability to maintain Hong Kong's appeal to global investors. Australian Broadcasting Corporation tells the inspiring story of Raquel Cochin, a Brazilian rugby sevens player who has overcome an ACL injury and breast cancer to aim for her 3rd Olympic Games. Cochin returned to the field in January after more than 18 months of recovery, helping Brazil reach the quarterfinals in several international events. Despite initial doubts from her doctor due to the complexity of her case, Cochin remained determined and received medical clearance to play. Her journey from dealing with a knee injury to undergoing a bilateral mastectomy and chemotherapy has been marked by resilience and a positive outlook. Cochin's coach, Will Broderick, admires her incredible perseverance, noting that she trained through chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Cochin's story serves as a testament to finding opportunities in every difficulty and has made her an inspirational figure for her teammates. South China Morning Post. George Lam Chi-chung, one of the most enduring figures in Cantopop, has captivated audiences for over 5 decades by staying true to himself. Known affectionately as Ah Lam, he first gained fame in the late 1970s and early 1980s, with hits like Need You Every Minute and Ah Lam's Diary. Despite being 76 years old, Lam continues to perform actively, showcasing his remarkable vocal range in concerts and TV shows. Born in Hong Kong in 1947, Lam's musical journey began early, with stints in bands during his studies in the UK and the US. Upon returning to Hong Kong in the mid-1970s, he pivoted from English-language albums to Cantonese songs, a move that cemented his status in the local music scene. Lam's versatility and unique tenor voice allowed him to explore various genres, from jazz and rap to traditional Chinese music. His career faced a setback in 2003 due to an ear injury, but he remains a prominent figure in both music and film. Known for his quiet persona offstage, Lam has always prioritized sincerity over image, a trait that has endeared him to fans. His personal life, including his marriage to fellow singer Sally Ya, has also been a subject of public interest. South China Morning Post. As the Paris Olympics approach, Hong Kong's athletes are gearing up to make their mark. The city, which won 6 medals in Tokyo 2021, hopes to replicate or surpass that success. The opening ceremony is scheduled for July 26, with events running until August 11. Swimmer Siobhan Haughey, who won 2 silver medals in Tokyo, will compete in the 200m and 100-meter freestyle events. Men's fencer Chung Kalong aims to defend his gold medal in individual foil, while women's fencer Vivian Kong Man Wai, ranked world number 1 in épée, also seeks a podium finish. The table tennis mixed doubles team of Wang Chunting and Du Hoi Kam are strong contenders as well. Football, rugby sevens, basketball, tennis, and volleyball are among the other sports where Hong Kong athletes will compete. The Hong Kong government has secured broadcast rights, ensuring that the games will be shown for free on various local channels and at designated public viewing sites across the city. Sports bars and shopping centers will also screen the events, allowing fans to follow their favorite athletes closely. The Independent. A recent trial has debunked the effectiveness of a costly IVF add-on known as time-lapse imaging, TLI, which can add up to £850 to treatment costs. TLI involves taking time-lapse videos of embryos in an incubator to identify the best ones for implantation. However, a study involving 1,500 women undergoing fertility treatment found that TLI does not improve the odds of a live birth compared to standard IVF methods. Led by Dr. Priya Bede from Queen Mary University of London, the trial revealed live birth rates of 33.7% for TLI, 36.6% for undisturbed culture, and 33% for conventional assessment. The findings challenge the claims made by some fertility clinics and underscore the importance of evidence-based practices. Dr. David Chan from the Chinese University of Hong Kong emphasized that clinics should invest in equipment with a direct impact on live birth rates. The UK's fertility regulator, the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority, HFEA, has also raised concerns about unproven add-ons. The trial's results are expected to guide patients in making more informed decisions about their fertility treatments, potentially saving them from unnecessary expenses. South China Morning Post reports that for the 11th consecutive year, Chinese buyers have been the top foreign purchasers of U.S. residential property, though their investment has plummeted by over 40% compared to the previous year. In the 12 months leading up to March 2024, Chinese buyers spent $7.5 billion on U.S. homes, a significant drop from the $13 billion spent the previous year. Despite this decline, Chinese buyers still acquired 6,000 homes, though this was down 45% from the 11,000 homes bought the year before. The strong U.S. dollar, bolstered by high interest rates from the Federal Reserve, has made U.S. real estate more expensive for foreign buyers. Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, NAR, noted that this has contributed to the reduction in foreign purchases. Interestingly, while Chinese buyers purchased fewer homes, they spent the most on average, with properties in high-cost areas like California and New York. The NAR also reported a broader decline in foreign investment in U.S. homes, with international buyers acquiring 54,300 homes, the fewest since 2009. In an intriguing twist of events, Jack Black, the beloved musician and actor, has found himself in the midst of controversy, as reported by the South China Morning Post. Sporting a new dad look with a bushy gray beard, Black was recently embroiled in a political scandal during a Tenacious D concert in Australia. His bandmate Kyle Gass made a controversial comment about an assassination attempt on U.S. President Donald Trump, leading to calls for the band's deportation from an Australian senator. Black, blindsided by the comment, issued a public apology and cancelled the rest of the band's world tour. This incident has strained his relationship with Gass, though Black still maintains photos of Gass on his Instagram. Beyond the drama, Black has been busy reprising his role as Pa in Kung Fu Panda 4 and starring as Bowser in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Embracing his new look, Black has been sharing his life as a father to his two sons and maintaining a close relationship with his own father, who was an aerospace engineer. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post also highlights the return of the global musical sensation Mamma Mia to Hong Kong after a 5-year hiatus. The beloved musical, which intertwines the iconic songs of Swedish pop group ABBA, will grace the stage at the Lyric Theatre of the Hong Kong Academy for Performing Arts from July 26 to August 15. Celebrating its 25th anniversary, Mamma Mia has captivated audiences worldwide with its heartwarming story set on a sun-drenched Greek island. The plot follows Sophie, a bride-to-be, as she tries to uncover her father's identity, leading to a whirlwind of drama, laughter, and unforgettable music. The production has been seen by over 65 million people globally and has inspired 2 film adaptations. The show's creators worked closely with ABBA's Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus to adapt their songs, ensuring a seamless blend of narrative and music. Hong Kong audiences can expect a vibrant performance with hits like Dancing Queen and Super Trooper, promising an immersive and nostalgic experience. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spit, walls come down. Voices merge in the sound, faces mix in the crowd. Broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen. Every link a different theme, words collide in the stream. 6 degrees connect the dots, background stories more than us. Hear the voices rise aloft, truth unveils in every spot. Cultures clash across the globe, spin the threads in a stroke. Every story wears a robe, truth and lies in their code. Journalistic beauty, secrets out they don't see. Every angle they repeat, in the news we take a lead. New perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way. Perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way. Cultures, I go, what really or do not, what enough to be you, everything and ever, what enough and after, what enough and after, what enough and after, enough 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 enough